You know, if you pull my jacket, if you FOIA my police department records from 2000, well, just the last department I was with, Round Lake Park, you're going to actually see something very interesting. In my opinion, it's very interesting. You'll see my discipline history. Now, I was suspended in November of 2016. That was the official suspension date. And 3 weeks later, I was given, Loudermilk, I believe it, Loudermilk hearing. I was given the opportunity of that, which I asked my union rep. I said, what is this? And they said, it's an opportunity for you to go before the chief and plead your case and say, hey, this is why I should keep my job. I said, fuck him, no. They said, well, their offer is resignation or they'll terminate you. And I said, well, then fucking fire me. We know how this is going. And if you know my story, it was 3 years and I got reinstated and I retired the next day. But there was something interesting that I actually finally got to bring up in a deposition in October of 2019. And it was a discipline that was in my file. Now, a lot of people, it's the volume of my voice. You guys don't hear what I have to say because of how I speak it, right? I accuse the black community of using the volume of their voice for their argument to be right, and I'm guilty of the same damn thing. It's like the louder I talk, it's like, can you actually hear me? So if that's the case, I want to speak much more calmly so that you'll get that I'm trying to help you cops out there because it happened to me. FOIA my disciplinary records, and you will see specifically that the department policy that I was offered resignation or terminate over was disseminating department property without express permission of the chief of police. And that was between, I believe, February of 2016 and June or July of 2016. So those 2 dates, pay attention. I'm going to offer this to you because I want you to know that your departments fuck with you guys and they're going to ruin your careers based off the evidence you've given them. So in the deposition I said, I have a question. I said, would you agree that a text message, which is what you ultimately fired me for, is a lesser department policy violation than sexual harassment? And the village attorney admitted, yeah, but where are you going with this? I said, then I have a question. Why is it that during the 3 weeks I was suspended, that I didn't have any access to the department, any of that, all this stuff, mysteriously a complaint showed up in my jacket that police officer Donna O'Brien claimed she filed a complaint that I sexually harassed her in the month of September of 2015. They had nothing to say. Nothing. And I asked if I was guilty of sexual harassment to another officer, and it was detailed. Apparently, I had her in my gym, and I made inappropriate advances. It was all on the document. I have the document in my files. And that happened in September of 2015. Why was I disciplined for a text message in February of 2016 and July of 2016? And that's what I was suspended on, and not sexually harassing another female in the department. Not to mention the fact there was no letter of counsel, no day off suspension, no investigation, no, you got to go see a therapist. There was nothing, no investigation. Well, we knew why. It's because during that time off that they gave me, the 3 weeks, they were padding my discipline files. And I got that all on the record in the deposition. And if you don't think that fucking happens to you, you guys are out of your mind. You're giving people, cops, you're giving your command staff all they need to wind up disciplining you, ruining your career. And I'm going to be polite as I can with this. Some of you are so fucking stupid that you cannot understand. You guys are so worried about my past, what happened almost 10 years ago. You can't see what's happening to your current future. I need to make examples out of some of you to save another cop's life. At this point, I don't give a fuck about any of you that I talked to today or about today. I'm specifically speaking for the police officer that's out there that gives a shit about their career, and I hope you do not make the same mistakes I did or anyone else did, and you actually keep your damn career intact. This went around yesterday. I want to play the beginning of this. And I'll get to my side of the story, but this is what kicked this off. This is from the 50 Cal. I'll get to his stuff in a second. And I want to play a post that he made yesterday. What led up to this was that I believe it was a California deputy was killed, and he had an insane work schedule. And I used 50 Cal's content because the gentleman's up online all the time talking about being on 4 hours of sleep, still getting into the gym, doing all this. And I've said this from the beginning. Be careful what you put up online because your department will use it against you. This was his response to me putting up his content.
Wednesday, no more ponytail, but what we do still have is some very strange haters on social media. And I never paid attention to this guy, and I still don't. I don't understand what he says or does or is trying to do with the social media platform. Dominic Izzo, always posting weird shit when it comes to cops, and he's a hater, I think. I gotta look into this guy more, but I think he's a hater, and then he tries to be like cool with the cops, but he always posts like, oh, cops need to stop posting that they're sleeping 4 hours, and then training, and blah, 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 blah. Motherfucker, we're cops. We work crazy hours. We have families. We have other obligations in life, right? We train. We have to train. And most of us have to sacrifice sleep to train because we will not give up time with our families. And we're still able to do our job. And that's the majority of fucking cops out there. And if they're not training, then shame on them. Period. That's all I got to say about this guy.
So I'm not going to play it, but I actually did a video about him back in March. It was March 14th. I did a video where I saw his content. If you look at his content, you see this man is in phenomenal fucking shape. This man, he works out. He's in better fucking shape than I am. It's awesome. But 4 hours of sleep, 2 hour pump, awesome. 14-hour police detail, 4 hours of sleep, Monday, 1 a.m., awesome. All of his stuff puts up an orgy of fucking evidence for defense attorneys. And some of you who are in law enforcement are so brain dead, you think I'm attacking him for his sleep schedule. When no, I'm actually not. What I'm trying to do, and actually what I did in the DMs when I contacted him back in March, was to say, I just want you guys careful because fucking people are going to misconstrue this the wrong way. Now, again, it is what it is. And I don't know how to do this. A lot of you you're upset because I called this man stupid. Well, I'm going to triple down. He's a fucking moron. What kind of a man is an active police officer? And now this is for the rest of you out there. This is not personal attack on him. This is so that the rest of you will learn. And maybe you'll stay off my fucking radar and you'll be like, man, I don't want Izzo to make a video out of me. And you don't give a shit what my status is, but I'm trying to protect you. What kind of a dumb fucking moron films a video while driving as a cop when it's the exact same probable cause that you guys use to pull over citizens? I'm baffled, number one. It blows me away. Absolute stupidity. Number two, a lot of you in the comments section who are cops and support do not understand. Defense attorneys, your department, they'll eat you alive. They'll find out that you posted something stupid. You'll go to a call. You'll drive into the fucking, I don't know, the parking a sign. You'll hit a pedestrian. And then they'll pull up online that you only got 4 hours of sleep that night. It doesn't matter whether or not you can function. They'll pull the studies that say that lack of sleep in serious cases can contribute to a blood alcohol level equivalency of like double the legal limit. The studies are out there. I don't know. They've been out there for decades. You guys do not understand. You're handing an orgy of evidence over to your command staff and your defense attorney and the defense attorneys who want to ruin your cases. Well, Officer so-and-so, can we talk about your sleep schedule that night before you arrested my client and you broke their arm putting him in handcuffs? They do it all the time. All the time. And apparently, some people just don't fucking learn. So they are stupid. Edward Barrett, New York Police Department. If we look all the way down, son of a bitch. A year ago today, disciplined for violating social media guidelines. For the love of God, my guy. All I was looking to do was to protect the shit out of you guys. But you want to think I'm a cop hater? I don't give a fuck. Maybe more than 4 hours of sleep that night would have helped you make better decisions to stay out of a lawsuit. 3 known lawsuits. Maybe having more sleep that night would have prevented you from a physical force accusation, threat of arrest accusation, vehicle search improper, physical force. Are you entry of premises? Unlawful entry of premises, wrong one. Maybe if you'd gotten more sleep that night, you would have kept yourself better protected. I don't know. That's the whole fucking point. Don't misunderstand my words. I've done the exact same shit you guys have done, But like I told another cop earlier this week, I was never stupid enough to publicly talk about it. I worked the 21-hour shifts, drove an hour home when I was fucking just nodding off at the wheel, only to get 3 hours to go right back to fucking work. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I've had the mandatory overtime. I got caught once sleeping. I buried my fucking squad car so far back. I thought the giant weeds and all these reeds concealed me and shit. It was 5 o'clock in the fucking morning, wintertime, so it was still dark, and I had my sunglasses on, so God forbid somebody couldn't see me. Guy, all I hear is a knock on the window. Oh, what? Oh. Yeah, guy fucking saw me, no matter how awesome I was buried, because I didn't get enough sleep because I was fucking tired. What if I got shot right through the fucking head? All of that stuff, right? It's not about your sleep. It's about what you're putting up online. That's one point. I want to talk about this because a lot of you guys are so pro-female in law enforcement and you're so pro-social media and you don't ever think it's going to get you in trouble. Social media has become the complete opposite of what it was 10 years ago, and I talk about this often. 10 years ago, we had Mike the cop and Officer Daniels. And those two actually led the way in the change to humanize the badge. Right around 2014, it was actually 2014, we had Eric Garner and then we had Mike Brown. And for those of us who were working at the time, it sucked. You couldn't do anything. I'll never forget the first black girl I pulled over the week of the Mike Brown incident. Beautiful fucking kid. I mean, 20-something years old. She was speeding. She was doing 50 down Washington. It's like going too fast. And I go, hey, kid, what's going on? Do you have your license insurance? And she's fucking crying with her hands in the air. You all shoot black people. You all shoot. Please don't shoot. I'm like, holy fucking shit. It was a real tense time in America. And then back then, too, a couple years prior, we had Obama. And Barack Obama, I don't care what your political opinion of him is, he started the war on police with the Cambridge police acted stupidly. I'd never seen in my entire life a sitting U.S. president criticize police without getting all the facts. It just blew me away. I'm like, how can you say that? And that opened the door to the black community. That opened the door to liberals and everybody else just completely vilifying cops. And cops can't fight back, right? You can't say shit. You can't say, shut the fuck up. Your culture is the most unbelievably broken criminality culture on the planet. You can't say that. So, Officer Daniels, Mike the cop, they found a way to do it. They started with the 7-second videos. I can't remember what, Vine. Then they went to, what was the other one? Snapchat, all that. And they started humanizing the badge through funnier videos. Humor, whatever. Then you had Officer Tommy Norman, who showed true, I mean, unprecedented scene community policing in a culture where every cop in America was hated because they hate blacks. And then you have Tommy Norman. Unbelievably fucking just in the black community, serving them like no one else. And I used to have a problem with what he did because I thought he set an unreasonable standard until I realized he's got the standard we all have to set too. You had Deion Joseph, worked in the ghetto, Skid Row, for 30 years with the most positive attitude, never wavering. Officer Ashley Smith, now Sergeant Ashley Smith, who was a woman, fit, attractive. She can't fucking do this job. And she showed that, holy shit, a broad can actually do the job and be attractive and actually have brains in her head at the same time. And she smashed the barriers. Those were ones in the beginning of law enforcement who did the best to humanize the badge. They paved the way for me. I wrote a book off of it. I was in a documentary. I was in an MTV pilot that never aired with a very well-known comedian, all this shit. And I got to do a lot of cool shit. And my stuff back then, like the rest of us, was we are cops who are showing the best version of, we was competition who could be the best cop, right? I wanted to be the one that's like, man, Officer Dominic Izzo's the best one on the planet because he comes on, he talks about not resisting, he talks about complying, fighting in court, the stand. That's what we wanted. We wanted to be the best cop known out there. Today, you have children who have bastardized that movement, and they have taken it from cops who are competing in a healthy way to be the best cop, the best representative for the profession, to now social agendas on a personal level, which can only be heard if you have a uniform. In other words, if it's just Dominic Izzo talking in a suit and tie, talking about law enforcement shit, nobody gives a shit. But if you find out Dominic Izzo was a police officer, he had that pull and that authority and that history behind him, you give him a little bit more credence. If I was an active police officer talking about everything I talk about, I'd have a ton more credibility. So the only point that these people get the uniform is for that. This is Kaylee Victoria. To my knowledge, she's not a cop anymore. Now, I can't fault her. I can't fault her because I leverage my former status as a cop to promote everything I'm doing. It's capitalism. Plus, I have the belief and the agenda of actually changing cop culture. She talks about her profession.
Thought about being in law enforcement, then this video's for you. So I've been getting a lot of questions about what I've done to get into law enforcement and how I got into the police academy. So only 12% of law enforcement are females, so those are really low numbers. Hopefully we can get those up by 2030. If you guys have heard of the 30 by 30, 30% of females by 2030. I really hope so. But if you do really want to be a law enforcement...
So here you have her advocating for being females and police officer, which means unlike credible women who have actually done the job, we open the door for looks, and we know the two things sell, sex and controversy, right? I use controversy all the time. It's so powerful to get attention. So you got an attractive woman who's going to promote the concept fit bikini. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have zero problem with what she does. I've said this constantly. I do not like female cops. For the context of, yeah, physically, you guys can't do the job. 99% of you can't. Mentally, no, I don't believe that when you guys get your menstrual cycle, you're fit to actually make the proper judgments. But I don't have control over that. I don't. So actively, I do support those I actually think could do the job. So right, I have no qualms against her personally, other than the fact I do not think sex and law enforcement go together. As I said, when I did criticize Sergeant Ashley Smith, she does it the right way. Damn good looking, attractive woman off duty. Look like you're ready to go to work when you go to work. She does the job perfectly. This isn't it. This is the problem I have with Kaylee Victoria, who's no longer a police officer right now. But information passed on is that she's trying to get on with Hollywood Police Department. And if you're with Hollywood PD, I vehemently oppose your decision to hire her, and I strongly suggest you take this into consideration.
Hi guys, it's Kaylee Festock, and I'm so excited to announce I'm going to be on The Snake. It's a brand new competition series, and your girl is going to be on Fox. It is going to be the craziest competition of the summer. Y'all have to tune in. I'm the cop, kind of see like what goes down. It's going to be crazy, so I'm here for it. I'm a certified law enforcement officer in the state of Florida. I've been a police officer for 3 years. I went to the police academy right after college, 22 years old, gassed, pepper sprayed, tased. Like, here's my little taser scar, and I got one on my butt cheek. Can't show you that one. But as a female police officer, I can't wait for you guys to see my competitive side. A girl loves to work out. I love to just be in it to win it. No quit mentality. Super fun, very bubbly personality. You guys are going to see that for sure. So tune in, please watch. We have a pastor, NFL cheerleader. Like, we got a man of God on the show. Like, if you're not tuning in June 10th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, what are you doing?
I want to pose this as further evidence, if you will, of why I have a problem with this. Now, I don't give a shit. I believe in capitalism, and she quit her department apparently to go do this game show. Fucking awesome opportunity. Go right ahead. That's great. I don't care if she represents herself as a cop. If she's still certified as a cop, I think my certification recently expired. So I like when people go all the time. It's like, I was a certified police officer from 2001 till 2019, but apparently it still says it whatever online. Oh, you only did X amount of years. I understand that it's semantics. I use that. So I'm not going to falter on that. I'm going to falter on this.
You just know you're that girl.
Yeah.
You just have no choice.
I don't think I'm going to have any issue betraying anybody in this game.
I don't have a developed sense of morality.
You're all here to play a game of betrayal.
Will I backstab someone? I'm open to that.
Welcome to the Snake.
Much as I want to feel safe with a lot of these people, I don't.
Each week, you will compete to become the Snake.
The most powerful position in the game.
The Snake will choose one player to save, setting up a chain reaction until there are two left.
Then they must face the snake for the ultimate decision.
I just feel a lot of guilt. I wish I didn't have to make this decision. I think I deserve an Oscar for that performance.
Here we go.
Your greatest asset isn't what you say.
You make me your first pick, I will pick whoever you want.
It's what others believe.
You told me you would pick me?
Everybody's a snake here.
I am gonna do my best to act with integrity.
You planted lies. You keep trying to sabotage me.
No one's gonna see anything coming.
Who's lying to my face?
I feel pretty betrayed.
She's very conniving.
Plot twist.
This is a savage guy.
Everyone's lying to me. Where?
God's watching you right now and praying that you burn.
Let the games begin.
I'm outdoors all the time. Bugs don't faze me at all.
God damn it!
Developed.
Quits law enforcement.
I don't think I'm going to have any.
Quits law enforcement to be on a show as one of 15 master manipulators. I know it's entertainment. I know it's a fucking good business decision if you're a capitalist, all that shit. But if you're representing, this is my ultimate point for all of the social media content. It's no longer men and women who get the badge in order to represent the betterment of this profession for the greater good. It's for the individual agenda. So how can anyone trust this former whatever certified cop, Kaylee Victoria, Hollywood police? How can you employ somebody who openly brags about being a master manipulator? How? How can we do that? Well, you're splitting hairs. Am I? Are you out of your fucking mind? Number one, it's one of the greatest traits of all females on the planet. They could do that. But we want to put somebody who brags about being on a show, who quit their agency to go and be a manipulator and now wants to get back on the fucking job. What does this profession become? I don't know. Let's move on. Now, I can't criticize people just for wanting to be good looking and all that shit. I got to criticize people with who I agree with as well, too. You do not get paid to use your uniform to promote your own fucking ideals. I follow Christ. Is what it is. A lot of you have a hard time. How can you put up Bible verses and talk about being in the swinging lifestyle at the same time? Fuck you. That's my journey, dude. I struggle every single day. You want to go ahead and show me how perfect you are? Maybe I'll start following you instead. I don't support anybody using the profession to promote their ideals. Now, I have tattoos on my arms. I have the Stations of the Cross. It's a Catholic thing on my arms. And when short sleeves, season came, my department allowed tattoos. We were one of the first ones out there to do it. Facial hair and tattoos was acceptable to a degree. And people would go, oh my God, what is that? And I would be so uncomfortable writing a report, and I've got Christ on a cross on my arm, and people are going, what is this? And I'm like, it's just a tattoo. I don't promote my agenda. It's what it is. And neither should you.
So what's going on, guys? You already know what it is. You already know what time it is. It's about Talk of Bentley, so let's get into it. So I couldn't even finish my food out because I really want to get this word out there. And this actually came from another Christian content creator. So I seen this yesterday. At the time, I was gonna sin, and I was in awe of how good God is. The thing is when it comes to sin, you gotta realize this. When it comes to sin, if you are struggling with a certain sin,
I don't care, and I appreciate it, and I have a hard time with criticizing this, because at the same time you're filming Bible study here.
What's going on, guys? You already know what it is. You already know what time it is. It's Bible Talk with Bentley.
Bible Talk with Bentley on duty.
So today I'm about.
What else we got? We have more of these. Here we go.
All right, what's going on, guys? You already know what it is. You already know what time it is. It's Bible Talk with Bentley. So let's
Bible Talk with Bentley. So on average, you film 4-minute videos. We know you got to do the music and the editing. Let's just take this an hour out of your shift. Could be your lunch hour. I don't care. Maybe that's it as well too. As far as I'm concerned, perception is reality. Don't do this on duty. Do not leverage your badge for one faith, because I'll show what's next. My other big opinion. What if somebody who's Muslim, because you're a police officer, what happens if somebody is Muslim or atheist or LGBTQ And are you going to serve them with the same integrity you would serve anyone else, knowing that your audience, your echo chamber, specifically watches you because you're a cop and you promote Christ, which is great, but it's fucking wrong. Be a cop who worships Christ, and out of uniform, you promote him, but on uniform, if you're asked about him, do your job and move on. We have more self-serving individuals pushing their own agendas while using the fucking uniform and the badge and the status, and it only gets worse.
I often get told by LGBTQ plus people that there's a hesitation to approach law enforcement officials, and this doesn't surprise me given the history of LGBTQ plus people in the US and abroad, but sometimes LGBTQ plus people do need the assistance of law enforcement, and this is where I hope to help. As a trans and omnisexual woman, I hope to provide comfort and reassurance that I can be sensitive toward my LGBTQ plus siblings' experiences. I also hope to provide more reassurance that they'll be...
Where the fuck is that in the law? Now, understand, before you attack trans, one of my best, closest, most important fucking friends on the planet to me is a trans woman. Fucking love that woman. She's my best fucking friend. And even she says, I'm a biological male that was born a male that chooses to act my life as a woman. These people are fucking crazy. I don't have a problem with trans people. I have a problem with you trans people bringing your agenda to a profession where you're supposed to be fucking blind when it comes to justice. Remember the scales? Doesn't Lady Justice have a blindfold over her? What is with you police departments out there consistently hiring people of such a diverse nature that you're going to have one specific officer for a specific group? This was my ultimate problem with Tommy Norman years ago, which was, if you guys don't know Tommy Norman, he's probably, I'll give him the accolades. He's the model of community policing in America. And he's with the black community, loves them, serves them. And I always said, what happens the day that Norman's got a day off? And he knows John, who's in the black community, knows him better than anybody because he deals with him, he cares about him. He goes up, he buys him lunch, he talks to him, he features him on his social media. But Officer Izzo's working that day, not Tommy Norman. I don't know John. And Officer Izzo's got a fucking attitude problem that day because he got in a problem with, he got a fight with his wife. He's got a real fucking shit attitude, commands on his back for not writing a report and submitting it on time. I'm forced to work overtime. I got denied the vacation request, all this shit. And I'm working and I go up and there's John. I don't fucking know John. And John's accused of doing something. I'm not Tommy Norman. I'm not Officer Tommy Norman. And I got to go and I got to, how do I treat the kid? Exactly how everyone else and that agency should treat him, with respect and dignity. And that was an issue. I worried that was not able to happen. I didn't worry about it after Tommy Norman. I worry about it now. When our police department hires Christians who do Bible study, wannabe celebrities who have an agenda to be movie fitness stars, whatever it is, fitness professionals who promote 4 hours of sleep to bolster their business, trans women who are part of an LGBTQ. How does the average citizen who gets stopped by one of you selectively biased people get served if you do not approve of their lifestyle choice? Officer Christian, he's going to pull up, he's going to pull you over, sees that you have, I don't know, a pagan symbol hanging from your dashboard. You going to get a ticket or a warning? Different cop, the trans cop pulls over, and you look like you voted for Trump. Is it, them, they, she, that, whatever, going to pull their pistol, point it at your head because they're terrified about their safety now because you threaten their rights as according to the liberal media told them? What happens when you got a fit cop who's 4 hours of sleep and he looks at how fat you are? And you're disgusting and you're eating Taco Bell on the way home, drinking your Diet Coke, all this shit, and your guts touching the fucking wheel. He's going to give you a ticket because you're a fat piece of shit. We leave our personal agendas not at home. We leave them all over the footprint of social media for our biases to get out there, and our dumb command staff is waiting in the wings to either support you when you complain or crucify you when it best fits their needs. Got to continue. The problem, too, with social media is it gives you a false sense of an echo chamber. I was guilty of that. The day I got suspended in November, I was at home. I think it was like November 19th, and a buddy of mine calls me. He goes, dude, you know what? He goes, the fucking Village Hall and the records had to take the phone off the hook. They had hundreds of calls about you all day because I put up on that on social media that day. I just got suspended. People were fucking calling the Village Hall, calling the fucking chief's office, bring him back in, reinstate his elbow. And I was like, yeah, I'm important. I'm important. Me. It fed my narcissistic bone like you would not believe. And some of you don't get it. This is what happens when you're caught in an internal investigation because of your social media.
What's up, everybody? Hey, I want y'all to do me a huge favor. Look at my TikTok videos, and I want you to tell me, how many days off do you think I should get? How many days should I get suspended for having a TikTok account? Go ahead and leave it in the comments below.
You take to your social media and you employ your case while you have an active suspending pension or a suspension, pending suspension on you. Absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable how delusional we get when we have the badge and we have the social media and we build the echo chamber of how untouchable we are. We can say shit that we do not think will, and every one of these are police officers. Every one of these are police officers. This was an interview I did this week with Officer Trey Mosley, thinking about the black community in certain words. Is segregated people. That is complete segregation. What point do we get to? Well, you know what? We need to have black segregation. 100% it is. If you are saying, do I run a risk of getting punched in the face for using the word nigga in any context that I want to if I say it out loud?
You do.
Yeah. Should I?
In a way, it depends. If this is from I'm speaking from a position of the black community. If you're running around saying that, then yes, bro, like you're gonna get a reaction from that.
Do I deserve to be punched in the face for saying it?
I believe so.
I believe so. Fuck free speech. As a representative of the black community, you deserve to get punched in the face. This is my ultimate point for some of you out there. You're not the badge, right? I mistook that. You know, I was not Officer Dominic Izzo. That was not my fucking name. And for a long time, I thought it was. It wasn't badge number 501. It wasn't badge number 229. It's me. During the time, that badge, somebody else wears my badge now. Somebody else has my number. Somebody else, it just walks the same beat I did, all that shit. For the time that I had the badge, it was my responsibility to serve with the highest integrity. I had to elevate myself to meet the standard of the badge. And a lot of you can't seem to understand that. You think that cops should keep their individuality when they have the badge, and I completely disagree with you. Their individuality needs to stay at home. Their standards, their intention needs to rise to the highest level of expectation of any profession on the planet to meet what we would think is the epitome of a professional police officer. I don't care if they're fit. I don't care if they're Christian. I don't care if they're trans. I don't care if they're a fucking game show contestant. I don't care if they're fucking black. I care about when you show up on scene. Are you the highest level of integrity that badge has ever been pinned on a person's chest? That's it. Guys, you don't know what command staff is like. And for every one of these people I brought up today, there's 100 fucking more. They're all over social media. It is now the agenda of the person whose ideals and their morals, which are completely subjective to other human beings, and their wants and desires are all met by the power now of being able to be online. And I have a voice now because people listen to me. And you don't get it. You don't get it that your command staff will find a reason to string you up. The command staff will find a reason to screw you over. They will always cover your ass. So when you guys get pissed that I'm online and I'm criticizing somebody for posting 4 hours of sleep, and you can't understand that I'm saying, don't post that. Do it all you fucking want. Don't post it because some defense attorney is going to crucify you over it. Don't post it because your command staff is going to go, didn't you just violate a department policy last year and you didn't learn your fucking lesson? Let me do it again. Great. Don't brag about being a police officer and go on a game show about fucking being a manipulator. Don't be a professional police officer and claim you have allegiance to being a fucking Christian, to being trans, to being black. I don't trust that Christian cop. I don't trust that trans cop. I don't trust Trey Mosley. None of them should be police officers. Not one of them should have the authority to pull someone over and use discretion, because their discretion is outwardly displayed by their public bias beliefs. And you, the public, who select whichever one you choose, the trans community is going to love that trans officer. Support her. Blacks are going to go to the rescue of Trey Mosby. Yeah, that's right. You don't understand. You're not black. You don't get generational trauma and how that word affects us. Christians are going to go in the comment section and say, I don't know, man. You got to praise God all the time. Give God glory all the time. No, it's God gave him that badge. I disagree with all of that. That badge is supposed to be the equal level playing field of everything. It's not, the common denominator is the police officer being able to serve every community. Culture could be different. Language barriers could be had. I wish to God that we spent more time sending cops to the schools. If you have like Chicago with Ukrainian Village or Humboldt Park, I wish you sent them to Spanish classes to learn how to speak Polish, Russian. I wish that you did that. Cantonese, instead of hiring more people because of their gender, their affiliation with a sexual identity, their fucking political affiliation. This profession is on its way out, and it's on its way to be the Trojan horse for destroying America, because what you're going to see is that phrase objectively reasonableness. Talked about this a million times. Go look for it for yourself. It's perf. Police Executive Research Forum wants to change the tenet of use of force, which is the foundation of law enforcement for the actionable issues. What I mean by that is you could speed all you want. If I can't threaten you with violence, you could fucking walk away. If there's no threat of violence on a traffic stop, you're going to be like, I'm not stopping. The threat of violence by police is their pure power. And the backed up by Graham v. Connor, Tennessee versus Garner, but the objectively reasonableness is all the authority they have. I've said this, and you guys need to pay attention. They want to change it. Police Executive Research Forum wants to change it from objectively reasonableness through the eyes of a police officer to proportionality through the eyes of a citizen. How many citizens still today in 2025 say, can't you just shoot him in the leg? How many stupid people do we have that see a tactic, don't understand it, and criticize cops? And we know the snowball effect that implements the bad training, bad cops being put on the street, more cops who exceed force that is necessary because they can't fucking do the job, and the cycle keeps going on and on. How soon do you think that if they can't win by changing objectively reasonableness to proportionality, that they're going to win by infiltrating the system and convoluting the concept of objectively reasonable and having a trans, liberal, black police officer uses force and shoots and kills a man for saying he's a conservative, and the objectively reasonable factor is met because every cop out there says, well, yeah, I have to put my shoes in the black generational trans trauma of being a female and say it's objectively reasonable. Any officer out here would feel the same way and act as such because we understand, because it's become the norm and the status. We did this. It is what it is, and it's where it's coming. But that's where this week is, and that's the point. If you're confused about my content, I don't hate cops. I hate stupid cops. And sadly, we have a massive amount of stupid cops. 6 months ago, I would get criticized all the time. What are you shitting on these TikTok cops for? They're having fun. I get emails every single fucking day. I cannot believe how many cops are out there who are doing this shit. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, dude. 100%. And it's not going to stop. So if we want to change, there's only one thing we have to do, and I do not know how to do it. We have to raise the standards. The standards for law enforcement have to be like ripping off a fucking Band-Aid that has been duct tape and super glued on your arm, and the skin and the fucking muscle come off at the same time. That's what we need to do. And then we need to kick every one of these fuckers by the curb. And it's going to start with changing command staff. So hopefully, to come full circle, hopefully this content features a knuckle-dragging meathead who can't see that I want to fucking have his back as an ally and I want to keep him out of trouble. And it makes somebody else go, damn, I should watch what I put up on social media. Hopefully it sees a self-glorified diva who wants to do a game show and they go, maybe I should not quit my job to do a temporary game show that's going to give me 15 minutes of fame. Maybe a Christian or a Muslim or an atheist is going to say, all right, I can hold fast in my beliefs, but I have to go to work and serve all the people with integrity. Maybe a trans cop says, I'm not that fucking special and I'm not important and I shouldn't be scared of my own shadow if somebody misgenders me on the road. Don't pull my Glock if somebody calls me sir on a traffic stop. And maybe if I'm black, I stopped playing the fucking victim card because I chose a side of service and I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. And now my generational trauma, my allegiance to a culture with a fist in the air saying black power, that's done because I serve we the people and I have to change my thinking and belief pattern. And maybe in the process of doing that, you guys will step up to the plate and you guys will become the leadership. Because right now, one of the biggest problems we have is the mass exodus of awesome, righteous fucking cops out there who we want staying and doing the job. And the ones who are like, I can't fucking do this anymore. The department is putting preference on these TikTok cops and they want to leave. Maybe, I don't know what the solution is. There are smarter minds out there than I am. Maybe if we find the way, you awesome, righteous cops who learn from my fuck ups and my mistakes, and then these other ones that are out there, maybe you guys stay. Maybe you start wearing the brass. And maybe you start making the differences. Maybe you lead this profession into the next decade or so, and you change cop culture the way we need it. Hopefully that's the case. I don't know. Well, guess we'll find out.